Oh, well, hello, I didn't see you there. Please pardon me, I was just enjoying a glass of... Well, anyway, I suppose it must be that time of year already. Well, look at that. Indeed it is. Good evening, ghouls and ghosts, and welcome to Spooktober on the Netflix Knowhow. You can call me Bone Daddy. That sounds really terrible when I say it out loud. No, we're not going to do that. Instead, you can just call me by my real name, Skelemundo. To kick things off this month, we have The Babysitter, a dark comedy horror about a young teenage boy and his delectable, delightful, slightly demonic babysitter. So she has a habit of throwing bloody cold sacrifice parties in people's living rooms. I don't see the problem here. I do love a woman who knows how to use a knife. But of course, the boy has to witness the whole ceremony and spoil the fun for everybody. Then they have to chase him down and deal with this small inconvenience. What a spoil sport. If you don't want to be murdered for being an unintentional witness to a cult sacrifice, then perhaps you should not be eavesdropping on satanic rituals you were not invited to. The boy was clearly asking for it, if you want my opinion. So right off the bat, I want to say that this movie has a lot of colors and a ton of kinetic energy. There is never a dull moment in its entire 90-minute runtime, and the movie is constantly throwing things at you and sending things your way to keep your attention. It has a very distinct style from some of the lower budget, more colorful, campy 80s horror movies of the past. While this is mostly a good thing and creates a very fun and exciting movie, it can be a bit too much at times, to the point where it unfortunately becomes distracting to the story. Not quite every crazy thing that they send your way works, and unfortunately this can sometimes feel like the movie is trying just a bit too hard to impress you. Perhaps the worst offender of this are a few moments in the movie where they decide to put up a very big and colorful subtitle that gives it a very memey feel. Movie, I don't need to be told what to feel or what to think, especially because my heart and my brain have decomposed long ago. But overall, the visual style is still very fun and very vibrant, and I loved it for the most part. All of the characters are also very, very colorful and quite quirky in their own right. Each of them represents a very exaggerated and cliché stereotype, but they are done very well, and you cannot help but love them regardless. The parents of the boy fall into that hip and cool cliché, except that they are actually quite hip and quite cool, and I honestly would not mind spending an evening with them. And not just because they have good bone structure. B, the boy's babysitter, plays the stereotypical hot blonde stereotype, but she is also quite charismatic and nerdy on top of that, and her personality shines in this movie. The group of students that she invites over for the sacrifice are also each represented by a very specific high school stereotype, and yet somehow they all manage to be hilarious. The standout character by far is the jock, played by Robbie Amell. Or is it Amell? I'm not really sure, he looks delicious either way. He has a contagious, charismatic energy about him, the best one-liners in the movie, and on top of that, he is so gleefully twisted you can tell he is just having so much fun tormenting and chasing this boy. All of these characters are fun and wonderful. Except for one, the main character, Cole. Cole is positioned as the shy, quiet, awkward teenage boy who has yet to go through puberty. And I understand that he is supposed to be the opposite of all the other colorful characters. But he's so boring! He is just whiny and annoying, and mostly useless for the entirety of the movie. He spends the entirety of the movie just running from one place to the next, and most of the kills that he racks up are completely incidental. It's like watching a chase scene where the chaser is constantly thwarted by tripping over a banana peel. Cole does become brave at the end of the movie, but it comes out of nowhere and it's not earned, and I don't understand where this bravery inside him suddenly spawned from. It is a very good thing that literally all of the other characters are so fun and exciting and interesting, Because if I had to watch a 90-minute film purely about this awkward, shy little teenage boy, I would rather drive a knife through my skull. I do have to say, though, that the relationship between Cole and his babysitter B is actually really well done. Yes, she is hot, and the movie makes no attempts to hide that, or the fact that Cole clearly has the teenage adolescent hots for her. But that is not the basis of their relationship. The movie takes the time and efforts to develop their relationship, and it shows them playing games together, having dance parties in the living room, watching movies and reenacting them on the lawn. They have a very strong, very real connection. That's what makes the reveal of the cult sacrifice party so much more shocking, even though you know that it is coming. Unfortunately, their relationship does drop off in the middle of the film, and it doesn't pick up again until the end. But because they wasted all that time not developing it further in the middle, it's just weird now. Does she care for him? Doesn't she care for him? Honestly, I do not know because they didn't take the time to show that over the rest of the movie. But I at least appreciate that the movie tried to give them a strong relationship, and for the most part, it did succeed. Overall, I found this to be a colorful, fun, exciting, and campy slasher movie. It is not without its flaws, and I do think that it tries just a little too hard in places, but overall, I think this is a very enjoyable film. The Babysitter is more than worthy of sacrificing your evening to it. Bones up.
Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Hooray! Spooktober is finally here! So this month I'm going to be bringing you all of the Halloween and scary themed things all month long. I've got lots of movies lined up and a couple shows even as well. So be sure to tune in. This is the best time of the year, my favorite time of the year. I am really looking forward to bringing these reviews to you guys. As always, you can go head over to Twitter and over to Facebook and follow me in there. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and share it with all your friends because that's the best thing you can do for me. And as always, if you want to know your spooky flicks, you know where to click. Happy haunting, everyone. See you next time.